Hi Mark, I hope your farewell party is in full swing now and that everyone has survived the cycling adventure. Brigitte asked me to say a few words of farewell to celebrate the passing of the Delbaere era. I'm sad that you're moving on from IBM and the wonderful IAA team that you've been part of since 1996, I think. The period I spent in La Hulpe with the IAA team was one of the most satisfying of my life, and I do understand why you're going back now to La Hulpe and the beautiful Forêt de Swan. I seem to recall from my time there in La Hulpe that Swift, like IBM, have beautiful facilities such as a gym and a pool, and maybe this is the subconscious attraction that has you crossing over to the world of banking. I do recall also that it was back in 1995 and 1996, so long ago, when Mia van Stralen and Yves Laurier assembled a fabulous team of bright people, like yourself, from all over IBM Europe, IBM US and Asia. The mission then was to take IAA to new heights and to advance with almost evangelical zeal the cause of model-driven development, and you all succeeded. Mark, you joined in 1996, and I know Yves and Mia were delighted to attract you into IBM. I recall Yves telling me about this young man who was a qualified actuary, an investment banker, a chess player, a flautist, and most importantly, as we Anglophones say, a bon viveur with a great sense of life, fun and philosophy. But, Mark, IBM product management processes cured you of all that, I'm glad to say. Joking aside, all your great qualities were needed back then to balance the technical genius of Jean-Paul Castus and Georges Reich. Mark, you came then from the serious investment bank of JP Morgan, and I often wonder what you and the other new hires thought then of the IBM La Hulpe working lifestyle, swimming and tennis at lunch, juggling on the lawn with Mark Skipper, drinks in La Cave, in the evening of course. It was a wonderful time and a wonderful team of people who are all your great friends now. Even then, Mark, you were one of the key people that influenced everyone in a positive fashion and helped shape the IAA team and the IAA product into what it is today. For you personally, I recall how your professional stature grew as you worked with the major insurance companies around the world. To State Farm, you were a modelling god and almost as good looking as Scott Cussman. Your customer dedication was commendable, and you personally continued the spread of IAA and its message to the far corners of the globe, including Japan, Peru, and the most recent expedition to South Africa in the depths of the European winter. This was customer dedication in the face of personal hardship. You also became a legendary speaker at the IAA user group conferences, the crown prince of IAA, and the wittiest multilingual speaker that the USA has ever seen. On a more serious note, and from a US perspective, I also recall that you were announced as the manager of the IAA development team on September 11, 2001, and that we had a lovely party around at Ree Ferreira's house, but at the same time watching all the terrible history unfolding in New York. That was a tough time, but back to IAA history, it's more fun. There'll be a quiz later in the evening to see who can remember all the great figures and acronyms of the early 90s, or the mid-90s I should say, and the early 2000s. Here are a few to get you going while you're all still sober. I will now recite the poetry of IAA acronyms from the past. IBEE, IDW, IIX, the BCB, the IAFEB, and MQS FSE. I'm betting that only Mark can correctly expand all these relics of our IAA history. Under your leadership, Mark, you brought IAA even further, ensuring the excellent integration of IAA and IAW we have today, and influencing the evolution of the banking models in line with the IAA BOM and IDM structures. I know this journey was not always easy for everybody, for you, but the continued success of the models and their position in IBM's model-driven development strategies is a tribute to you and the IAA team. But most importantly of all, the fact that all of this has been done with a team that is only a fraction of the size it was in those golden days of the late 1990s is an immense compliment to the brain power of you and everyone standing with you today. My fantasy is you'll now jump up and say how you're on a secret evangelical mission to convert the world banking community to IAA, as you've already started with IFW, BOM and IDM, and that moving to become Swift architecture leader is part of the secret agenda of IBM to make that actually happen. Marc, I wish you every success in your new role, and I wish you and Barbara every happiness as life goes forward. We will miss you in IBM, and the loyal IAA customers will miss you as much as we will. Enjoy the rest of the evening, and I will see you in April when I'm over in Brussels. A votre santé. It's too early for champagne. Have a great evening. Bye.